thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't have to do that. I'm not thrilled about the whole situation.
Bombs fall on Doha as Israel strikes Hamas in the heart of America's Gulf ally. Trump, blindsided, declares he was not thrilled. Qatar erupts, calls the attack treachery and vows retaliation. Netanyahu, defiant, promises more strikes anywhere on earth. This is an alliance strained and a region on edge. An unprecedented crisis erupted in the Trump White House as Israel launched airstrikes deep inside Qatar, targeting Hamas leaders in the heart of America's closest Gulf ally. The attack sent shockwaves through Washington, blindsiding the president and thrusting him into full damage control mode.
The Israeli strike earlier today.
Well, I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't have to do that. I'm not thrilled about the whole situation. It's not a good situation. But I will say this: we want the hostages back, but we are not thrilled about the way that went down today.
Did he notify you in advance, Mr. President? Did Israel tell you in advance?
No.
So you were caught by surprise, sir?
I'm never surprised by anything, especially when it comes to the Middle East.
How did you learn about this?
I'll be giving a full statement tomorrow, but I would tell you this: I was very unhappy about it, very unhappy about every aspect, and
The American president's public statement laid bare his conflicted position. Writing on Truth Social, Trump declared that
unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal.
the timeline reveals a stunning breakdown in coordination between allies. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt explained,
This morning, the Trump administration was notified by the United States military that as Israel was attacking Hamas, which very unfortunately was located in a section of Doha, the capital of Qatar. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal. President Trump immediately directed Special Envoy Witkoff to inform the Qataris of the impending attack, which he did.
This contradiction reflects a deeper tension. Qatar hosts the largest US military base in the Middle East and has served as Washington's crucial mediator with Hamas. As Leavitt emphasized during her briefing,
The president made his thoughts and concerns about this very clear, and he spoke again both to Prime Minister Netanyahu and also the Emir and the Prime Minister of Qatar after this attack. And the president has always made it very clear that he wants peace in the Middle East, just like he sought that and accomplished that in his first term. He expects all of our allies and friends in the region, that includes both Qatar and Israel, to seek peace as well. And he wants to see that happen, and he's working with all of our allies in the region to get that done.
Qatar's response was swift and furious, with Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani delivering some of the harshest language ever directed at Israel by a US partner nation.
The state of Qatar will not tolerate any infringement of its sovereignty or territorial integrity, and will respond firmly to any reckless breach of security that threatens regional stability. We reserve the right to respond to this blatant attack, and will take all necessary measures to do so.
The Qatari Prime Minister's words grew more pointed as he described the attack as nothing short of betrayal.
This can only be described as treachery, which is par for the course for such a state. What surprises us is that such systematic behavior comes from someone who claims to be seeking stability in the region, when, in fact, he only brings instability and narcissistic delusions that serve his own interests.
Qatar's account directly contradicted US claims about advance warning.
The attack happened at 3:46. The first call we had from an American official was at 3:56, which is 10 minutes after the attack. After that, President Trump has spoken with His Highness the Emir. He condemned the attack. And the U.S. government position is that they had no knowledge about the attack nor any coordination about it until it started to happen. Now, when they got the alert and when it reached us, that information I do not know right now. What I know is that the official channels that we have with the U.S. were notified after the attack by 10 minutes.
The strike killed at least one Qatari security officer and targeted residential buildings housing Hamas political leaders.
Over the past few days, negotiations have been ongoing at the request of the U.S., with the aim of discussing the latest document received from Washington. However, despite continuously sending its delegations to Doha, Israel has sabotaged all chances for peace.
Even as international condemnation poured in, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu doubled down, claiming the controversial strike could paradoxically end the Gaza war while promising more attacks worldwide.
At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas. These are the same terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th. Now, they were meeting in the same place, exactly the same place, where they celebrated this savagery almost 2 years ago. At the beginning of the war, I promised that Israel would reach those who perpetrated this horror. And today, Israel and I have kept that promise.
The Israeli leader made a bold prediction, saying the strike could ultimately end the war.
On this day, as in previous days, Israel acted wholly independently, and we take full responsibility for this action. And this action can open the door to an end of the war in Gaza. Israel has accepted the proposal put forward by President Trump to end the war, beginning with the immediate release of all our hostages, which have been held in the dungeons of Gaza for 700 days.
Israeli Army Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir was even more explicit about future intentions.
These are the terrorists whose sole desire was to kill and massacre Israeli civilians and to be at the forefront of the destruction of the State of Israel. They repeatedly thwarted all attempts at negotiation. We will not rest and will not be silent until we bring back all our hostages and defeat Hamas. We will continue to carry out this mission everywhere at any range, near or far, to settle the score with our enemies.
Highlighting the aggressive posture of its security doctrine, Defense Minister Israel Katz stated,
Operation Summit of Fire to thwart Hamas leaders. Israel's security policy is clear. Israel's long arm will act against its enemies anywhere. There is no place where they can hide. Anyone who was a partner in the October 7th massacre will be held fully accountable. Anyone who carries out terror against Israel will be struck.
The strike represents a calculated gamble by Netanyahu that eliminating Hamas leadership abroad will accelerate rather than derail peace negotiations. With Hamas claiming its senior officials survived the attack and Qatar threatening retaliation, that bet now faces its ultimate test.